168 days, 22 hours and counting before 8th of August. Ballot Agenda is our next segment in this news review part of the breakfast show. And today in our panel we have two members of parliament who are aspiring to be governors. Mheshimiwa Mudhomi Njuki, member of parliament for Chuka Igamba-Ngombe, he wants to be governor for Tharaka Nithi, and Mheshimiwa Wilbur Tichilo, member of parliament for Umuhaya, who wants to be governor for Vihiga. I also have with me here somebody who will provide guidance as far as governance is concerned. Cynthia Mutere, who is the chair Women League, as well as a governance analyst. I will start with you, Cynthia. What is this craze about people moving towards the gubernatorial position?
Control of resources, the power, having a sizable number of the population in your control, basically. And when you see that the CDFs have been basically shed a lot of the responsibilities into the devolved funding, then you find many of the members of parliament would want to now go into the gubernatorial race. We're finding senators as well coming into the gubernatorial race. But one thing, as governance practitioners, we want to say that one thing that is key: let the leadership really put the people at heart. Service delivery, service delivery, service delivery, in conjunction with public participation. We cannot emphasize this enough. The people have not been involved. As you have seen, that in many cases, newspaper advertisements are given. At the county level, you find the MCAs and their managers and the ward administrators give probably 1 day notice, and they have big documents of the budget that people are supposed to come into one hall, a town hall, and analyze. People who have not been familiar with numbers and how to just start them out.
To somebody who had 1,000 shillings.
And so really the leadership, the next leadership, I really want to encourage them to really take that into consideration and make that a priority, that public participation will be a key area of the administration that they'll be looking at.
So from where you sit, this move is driven more by self-interest.
I would say that. Why not remain and serve 2 terms in your constituency if you have delivered once and you have seen that your constituency is well, and then make that constituency a model. If 1 term that has been maybe just 4 years really, and you want to step out, I do not want to, of course, dampen his aspirations to be the governor, but I mean, you'd want to make your constituency to be like the place where people want to see that this is
Mheshimiwa Mudhomi Njuki, if you have done such a nice job that you feel you can do it at another level, why don't you just complete it 2 terms and leave a legacy?
Thank you very much, and I want to say what Cynthia said is very distant from the truth, because he's describing a leader who goes for their own selfish interests to be able to lead in another capacity. And I want to tell you, if that was the case, I wouldn't be sitting here saying I want to be governor of Tharaka Nithi County, because if I went for the seat of the member of parliament, just like Wilbur here, we would win early in the morning. I want to remind you of a survey that was done in the year 2015 of the members of parliament who were likely to come back and who were really the people are happy with. And Wilbur Tichilo was number 1 in this country. I was number 6 in this country.
Out of 290.
Out of 290. And therefore the chances of getting our seat again will be very high. But this is not about us. It's about the people. It's about an opportunity. It's about opportunity costs and wasted chances. I said, if it was only about the constituency, really, we don't live in a vacuum. I would really stay there and get to do what I need to do and make noise about bad leadership and do nothing about it. One of the reasons why I am going for the gubernatorial seat is the fact that I wish the transition authority state, Cynthia, the transition authority is no longer there. They were actually bundled out by influence from the governor, so they did not win. Because they felt these people were really
interfering a lot.
Interfering with what
they had 5 years, 2 years before and 3 years into the whatever. So it was
there was need for them to be extended, because if they did probably.
I remember there was a debate about extending them.
The lobbying was too intense that they had to go. But I wish they stayed. One of the reasons why I have to vie for this is because my county is one of those very small counties who have seen nothing tangible, what I call flagship projects, from the 12 billion that we've gotten from the national government.
So you have got 12 billion so far?
And we have nothing to show for it. We have 13 rivers running through my county. And I do not have a single mega project of water that can resolve the water problem in Tharaka Nithi County. The only thing we have is pipes that have been bought by the county government, and they are just in chief's camp and in places where, if instead of having an elaborate system, a plan to be able to leave water for the people, you buy for them pipes, you know, as a leadership. First of all, you ensure that you buy those pipes at inflated prices, and for you to be able, for your people to benefit. But what about the Monanchi who really want to implement water? And I want to tell you, my county is the only county, probably in Kenya, where the governor has not been able to use even his resources to have 1 inch of tarmac with the 12 billion. My neighboring counties, each one of them have tarmac by the governors, including even my distant neighbor like Machakos. It's better even to say that the standards of the tarmac are not so good.
Could it be it was not priority? They had more important issues?
I spent my time in the constituency where my governor comes from. My car got stuck. That even Maraming Road, you know, in a constituency where we actually come from, is a problem.
Do you have national roads in your county?
We do have national roads.
And do you have any in your constituency?
Yes, we do, and we have some that are ongoing at the moment. And I want to say that the members of parliament have done a fantastic job in lobbying for those resources.
Any tarmac
roads? Yes, they have been tarmac. Some of them have been tarmac. And before I get out of that, there's a syndrome we normally call the big man syndrome, where the first governors of Kenya felt were so, you know, they were so big. They actually like small presidents. In 2013,
they're actually presidents.
In the 2013,
they are actually presidents.
When we invited Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta to Tharaka Nithi County for the 100 years of marking 100 years of Chuka Town, the governor of Tharaka Nithi County said, unless he gets a letter from the president informing that he's going to be coming to Tharaka Nithi, he will not attend that function. And by true, he never attended the function.
So you take fault on that?
He felt he's such a big man that the president used to write to him for him to come to a function in the constituency. And because of that reason, and that is one of the reasons why he's running away from the Jubilee Party, there has been a disconnect between the national government and the county government. And we are looking at the next government, but in all counties that is going to, and it's not the only situation it's not only Tharaka Nithi, in so many places where the governors feel that the national government is actually a competition to me. We want to form a seamless government, whereby there will be no disconnection between the national and the county government.
Precisely, I'll be coming to that in a short while, the intergovernmental authority. But before that, are you saying that the people of Tharaka Nithi are now suffering because of their governor's ego?
Well, that is one of them.
Is it right for the Jubilee government to make the people suffer because of one person?
No, the people are not suffering because of that.
What are you saying? It's one of them.
It's one of them. The other issue is incompetence. You know, like you asked me a few minutes ago, why is it that we cannot be able to lobby the governor to do the hospital in my backyard? But the governor feels that him and his MCAs can be able to work very well, and he does not need to have any consultation with the leaders of the national government. And they have this project whereby you do a road, the governor allocates money on the same road, and of course that money eventually gets used. And that is the case all over. It is a case of incompetence and a bit of mismanagement of funds. I
want to move to Mheshimiwa Tichilo, but before I do that,
yes,
hasn't the intergovernmental authority helped to salvage the situation?
The same big man syndrome is extended to international, the inter-agencies. I expect the county government of Tharaka Nithi, the county commission of Tharaka Nithi and this team to work very well with the governorship. But that is not the case. And the other day we had a situation whereby the governor had taken away the chief's office, which is located around this county, and given it out for another use. And it called the it called for a threat and compelling by the county government, including issuing orders for him to give back that office. Today, as we talk, we do not have any police camp, not AP, not regular police around the governor's office.
We'll be coming back to Tharaka Nithi in a short while. Let's get to Vihiga County. Why you have been doing splendid job. You are as at 2015, you are the leading deliverer of service to Wananchi as far as MPs are concerned. Why do you want to leave this job?
And that's why I want to say my sister Cynthia, I think, summarized my reason why I'm going for the gubernatorial position. I've been a member of parliament for 2 terms. And actually in 2013, everybody was urging me to go for gubernatorial position. But I said no. I said I must develop Muhaya to the level where it is a model constituency.
So is it now?
It is. It is. If you come to Muhaya, I can tell you it's a model constituency. The road network is superb. The education system has improved. Our performance is very good. Our water system is working. Our electricity coverage is actually 97%.
And they're watching you now. I'm sure they're hearing.
Yes, they are watching, and they are free to ask. So I feel like, yes, I have achieved. After 9 years, I have done a commendable job in my constituency, and there are my people can attest.
How did you do it?
I think I also want to say Cynthia also captured how I did it. Is public participation, having people to decide their development agenda. When I took over as a member of parliament, the first thing I did was to bring people together from the village level to come up with their own vision. What projects would they want? And out of that process, we ended up with a very nice strategic plan for 10 years. We prepared a strategic plan for 2008 to 2018, and in that plan we had from the village level to the constituency, people had specified what they wanted and how they wanted it done. And when now it came to implementation, the CDF, I think I've done very well with the CDF. We made sure that the people actually participated in the implementation of the projects. They came up with the projects themselves. We verified the projects. We ensured that they meet the regulation of the CDF. They formed project management committees at that project level, and we gave them the money. And what we did as a CDF was to monitor
how they use it.
How they use it.
I'm curious to understand. Where do your colleagues, other MPs, go wrong?
I think I don't want to talk for them. But
I'm sure you walk around the country.
I think where they go wrong is that they take it and do everything. They want to...
The big man syndrome kind of?
What Mudome has said, I think is to some extent, they want to do everything and they don't want to involve the people. But I can assure you, when you involve the people, you can't go wrong. In fact, when I go to Muhaya, my work is just to inspect the projects, to see what they are doing, how they are doing, and what problems they are facing, and I sort it out. And that has augured very well for me, and I can tell you, I'm very happy. I can walk anywhere in my constituency on food in the market, and nobody will bother me.
So what do you want to do as governor?
Now, what I want to do as a governor is bring this same model to the governor. Vihiga County is a small county. But
how many constituencies?
We have 5 constituencies. What it lacks is a good governance system. I can assure you, you can have the resources, but if you don't have a good governance system, you will not be able to use those resources effectively to have an impact. So my interest now, first of all, I've done my almost 10 years as a member of parliament. So I feel I have achieved my
so you need to move on.
I need to move on. But I want to move on because I feel I want to use this Muhaya small model to translate it to Vihiga, where I want, my main interest is to set up a functional, transparent, and accountable governance system, which is lacking in my county. It's very much lacking. The way Cynthia said, you know, public participation is just a joke, because they just come up with huge documents, put people in halls, and they come and read to them, and tell them this is what we are taking.
Cynthia, these gentlemen have an ambition, and they articulate it so well you can almost visualize.
Yeah.
Is running a county the same as running a constituency?
It's no
Considering the source of funds, the trickle of funds, the interest,
not
and the
easy,
diversity.
not easy at all, because once again what they're saying, both of them, they're talking about the egos. And let me just speak for a little bit why we are encouraging women to actually present themselves in these opportunities that have come up, especially for renewal of leadership. I think the female gender brings in a softer side even to politics, that they would be able to be
That's debatable, considering what we've seen lately.
What you've seen lately, it is not
violence from women.
By the very makeup of a woman, they do have a softer side, and I think that is the attribute that you bring into politics, because both of them are talking about the big man syndrome. They're both talking about the Bwana Kubwa syndrome, where the governor does not want to submit to any other authority.
Do you believe in this research polls about performance, governance, and everything?
I do believe in those.
So how come we don't have a woman as number one? We have Wilbur Tichilo. Because we have women MPs.
We do have women MPs that are trying in their constituencies, and they're not like last. They're not pulling the socks in this whole survey. They actually have done very well.
Somewhere there.
They're not somewhere there. They're at the top rank of that ladder, and they have done very well. And they are best practices constituencies that we do want to see it enumerated. But running a county government, it is a government. It is not a constituency. A constituency, you're just running with limited resources. Just what they had said about doing what? The schools, the security, and
schools,
they only have like 4 responsibilities. When you're running a government, you're running like all the 14 responsibilities that have been enshrined in the Constitution, and you're doing more than, and you're also doing the politics. And they do know that the politics, the representation of the people, where they want to be seen to be pushing for certain agendas, it might not be a responsibility of the county government, but you need to step out of yourself and go out and negotiate with national government to see that it's come into your
I want to ask the gentleman a rather blanket question about governance and the county government. But before I get to that, you think we should give women political leadership positions because they are women?
Absolutely.
Because they are
not
women?
Because they, once again, I just had said that we do bring a softer side to go when men do take their stances.
What does softer mean?
Softer means that you're willing to negotiate. It is the same way we work in partnership in the home. It's the same way society is built. I mean, having half the population not participating in governance is really malnutrition.
Have you been in Kenya the last 6 months?
I have been in Kenya all my life.
The largest number of voters are women. Why don't they vote for women?
Precisely. If they have that softer side and an understanding of it.
Because we live in a patriarchal society, we have seen the men's supremacy from the homes, in the communities. Even when you go to the chief's barazas, you still find that the women are seated on the ground right there, but all the men are seated on the chairs, and they're the ones who are articulating the issues. The women only watch. Until now, you go into the churches where you find that they're doing a splendid job of taking care of resources, taking care of the tithes and offerings that are coming into the churches. If they're given those places of responsibility, now we're talking about grassroots leadership.
They're given.
But they are elected, because then now laws have been put in place that are bringing women to the table, and we are seeing women who are qualified and are able to sit at the table and to make sure that
when we were starting this show, you said numbers call the shots.
Yes.
Yes.
Statistically, we have more women than men. Even in voter registration.
Yes.
So why can't numbers call the shots? Why
and you're going to be seeing a difference.
We have empathized so much with the gender issue that now we are facing another catastrophe, the male child.
Because it had to be put into law, so that in certain areas where we have council of elders, let me just say in many pastoralist communities, let me say in western region, yes, you will be given your land to dig, but you're not going to be given the title deed, where the men are calling the shots. They are the ones who are sitting on these council of elders, the council of elders. And now, because law has been put in space that we must have a woman representative, that's when you're seeing a woman representative being elected in northeastern and eastern regions, and in our places where you wouldn't have
I think we need to have another forum where we look at the performance of women political leaders. But I want to give the gentleman here, because this was ballot agenda and we're looking at their transition from constituency to county government. I want to give the gentleman a chance to just wrap it up, because time is not on our side. Exactly, what do you see as your biggest challenges as you head for this seat?
Well, first of all, I want to just wrap up what she had said about
go ahead.
The women
in the shortest time possible.
Yeah, the main agenda. Personally, I would have been very, very comfortable having a running mate as a woman.
And I encourage you both to take women as your running mate.
I've really tried very hard, but it's very difficult, really, to be able to come up with one who can actually be able to be a running mate. Although I've not given up, because I've not yet named my running mate.
Where's the difficulty? Qualification?
I'm hoping. You know, there are all those issues about
where is she married, where was she born,
all those things. You know,
which we don't consider when a man comes up.
But I'm hoping it will be possible. Maybe if it's not really, I will still make sure that we have enough in our government. I have tried very much as possible in the constituency to involve many women as possible in leadership of the constituency. And to summarize, I want to say that the picture that has been painted, that the first time a member of parliament wants to be governor because of just ambitions, I want to say I'm leaving my people of Chukagambagombe very comfortable. One of the things I'm usually accused of by those who are really very critical criticizers is I have pulled too much resources to my constituency, which is not really the case.
You have taken the national government too much.
There was no basket where they were being picked from, just a question of lobbying. And I want to believe that my people have given me the blessings to go ahead and be able to replicate the same all over the Tharaka County. We do not want women to get water from the rivers anymore. When the ones available teachers are getting water from the house, we want to fix those roads so they can be as good as the one available teacher. And I'm hoping that come 2018, when you do the governor's rating, that Muthoni Njuki will be the best among the 47.
Fair enough. Wilbur, your closing remarks.
My closing remarks are that I'm interested in this seat because I really want to put a proper governance system in my county. Because without a proper governance system, nothing works. And my main interest is that put a governance system that is transparent, that is fair, and that is accountable. And in this regard, I want to put in a governance system where we have qualified people who can deliver and who can actually be evaluated on annual basis or quarterly basis. I would want to see a performance contracting type of system so that people are accountable to their actions. If you put in people, you appoint people who can't perform, you should not let them continue. And then the other area I'm more interested, particularly for
Vihiga, very quickly, because
for Vihiga is the development of the human capital. Vihiga has real 60% of the people are youth, and I want to focus on human capital development and finally the infrastructure development for that.
Thank you very much. Cynthia, I'll be a bit unfair, but I'll give you just 30 seconds to wrap it up.
I want to say that the next best option really is the NASA government. To the detriment of the Jubilee government. We have had this argument.
You have declared your stand, so
I have declared my stand, and really, I really want to say that we are the next best option. Of course, the registers were closed yesterday. It is now crunch time, where other timelines are going to take effect. I want to encourage women to step out and come and be nominated into these places. I encourage political parties to nominate women to vie for these seats. We want them elected, not nominated. We are not asking to be given. We do want to be elected, and we will make a substantial voting bloc as women to make sure that these women come into office.
Give women a chance. Now, that is just about all we had in the news review segment of the Power Breakfast Show. It's 168 days before we get to the polls and make decisions on who is going to be our representative. Remember, if you are ever coerced or influenced into making a decision, you remain bound by that coercion or that influence. You have to make a decision on your own depending on your needs, and just use your voter's number and make that critical decision. I'll be leaving you with the band. It was a pleasure having in my panel today Cynthia Mutere, Chair Women League, Mr. Mudhomi Njuki, Member of Parliament for Chuka Igambangombe, aspiring Governor for Tharaka Nithi, and Mheshimiwa Wilbur Otichilo, Member of Parliament for Emuhaya, aspiring Governor for Vihiga. My name is Charles Odhiambo. After the band, did you know that playing golf can be fun and easy? You'll be joining Willis Raburu shortly after this, just to have the basic lessons on doing that. Take it away, the band.